General Shadrack Sibiya has denied speaking to Nxumalo about the arrest of Musa Khawula. That is the central issue emerging from the latest development involving the suspended Deputy National Police Commissioner. According to the information provided, General Sibiya has rejected claims that he communicated with Nxumalo regarding the arrest of Khawula. No additional details have been confirmed at this stage, and the matter remains limited to the denial issued by the general. The denial comes in the context of ongoing public scrutiny surrounding high-profile arrests and alleged communications between senior officials and individuals connected to public discourse. However, based strictly on the facts available, the only confirmed development is that General Sibiya has denied any such conversation with Nxumalo about Musa Khawula's arrest. The arrest of Musa Khawula itself has drawn attention, although specific details about the circumstances, timing, or charges linked to that arrest have not been outlined in the information provided. What is clear is that questions have apparently arisen regarding whether General Sibiya had discussions with Nxumalo concerning that arrest. In response to those questions, the general has issued a denial. At this stage, there is no confirmed evidence presented here indicating that such a conversation took place. Equally, there is no publicly detailed account of how or why the allegation surfaced. The denial, therefore, stands as the only verified position attributed to General Sibiya in relation to this matter. In matters involving senior law enforcement officials, communications, whether formal or informal, can become subject to public interest, especially when they relate to arrests that may carry political, social, or media significance. However, it is important to approach such issues with caution. Allegations of conversations or influence require verification through credible evidence, and in this case, none has been outlined beyond the claim and the subsequent denial. General Shadrack Sibiya currently holds the status of suspended Deputy National Police Commissioner. His professional position has previously placed him at the center of law enforcement decision-making structures. That status often brings heightened scrutiny to any allegations of involvement in sensitive matters. Nonetheless, the denial he has issued is clear and direct. He says he did not speak to Nxumalo about Musa Khawula's arrest. No further clarification has been provided regarding whether General Sibiya has addressed this denial in a written statement through legal representatives or via direct comment. Similarly, there has been no confirmation provided here regarding whether Nxumalo has responded to the denial or maintained any opposing claim. In situations where allegations of communication arise, particularly involving arrests, the implications can be significant. Conversations between public officials and private individuals may be scrutinized for potential interference, influence, or misconduct. However, it is equally important not to assume wrongdoing in the absence of verified evidence. The information available does not indicate that any formal investigation has been launched into the alleged communication. It also does not indicate that disciplinary proceedings, legal complaints, or internal reviews have been initiated as a result of the allegation. Therefore, any suggestion of misconduct would be premature. From a legal perspective, a denial does not in itself resolve factual disputes. It establishes a position taken by the individual concerned. If evidence later emerges to either support or contradict that denial, relevant authorities would be responsible for assessing it. At present, the factual position remains that General Sibiya denies speaking to Nxumalo about Musa Khawula's arrest. The matter highlights the broader issue of accountability and transparency within law enforcement structures. Public confidence in policing institutions depends heavily on clarity, integrity, and the absence of undue influence. Allegations, whether proven or not, can affect perceptions. For that reason, responses from officials are often closely examined. It is not uncommon for high-profile arrests to generate rumors or speculation regarding who may have been consulted or informed prior to or after the arrest. In the digital age, narratives can spread rapidly, sometimes without substantiated evidence. That dynamic underscores the importance of verified information and careful reporting. In this case, there has been no detailed account of how the allegation arose. It is not clear whether the claim originated from a public statement, a media report, social media commentary, or another source. Without that context, it remains difficult to assess the foundation of the allegation. Equally, no information has been provided regarding the content of the alleged conversation, the timing of the supposed communication, or the relevance it may have had to the arrest of Musa Khawula. Those details would ordinarily form part of a broader evidentiary assessment, should the matter proceed beyond public statements. For now, the denial stands without additional publicly confirmed counter-evidence. In law and in public discourse, individuals are entitled to respond to allegations. A denial is a formal rejection of the claim. Unless and until evidence is presented to substantiate the allegation, it remains an unproven assertion. It is also important to consider that in matters involving ongoing legal or disciplinary processes, parties may be advised by legal representatives to limit public comment. Therefore, limited information in the public domain does not necessarily imply concealment or confirmation. It may simply reflect procedural caution. As of now, no indication has been provided that the arrest of Musa Khawula is under dispute in terms of its legality. The only issue addressed here relates specifically to whether General Sibiya communicated with Nxumalo about that arrest. On that specific point, the general has issued a denial. Transparency in public institutions often depends on documentation, call records, official correspondence, and internal protocols. If any authority were to investigate the matter further, such evidence could potentially be examined. However, there is no confirmation at this stage that any such process is underway. The principle of fairness requires that allegations be handled responsibly. Public officials, like private citizens, are entitled to the presumption that allegations remain unproven unless evidence establishes otherwise. Reporting on such matters must therefore remain factual and cautious. The audience, as members of the South African public, may expect clarity when questions arise involving senior police leadership. However, clarity can only be achieved through confirmed facts. At present, the confirmed fact is limited to the denial issued by General Sibiya. There has been no statement referenced here from law enforcement authorities clarifying whether any internal communication policies were breached. Nor has there been confirmation of any formal complaint filed by Nxumalo or by any other party concerning the alleged conversation. In the absence of those details, any further interpretation would amount to speculation, which would not be appropriate. The responsible approach is to present the known information, an allegation of communication, and a clear denial by the individual concerned. Public interest cases often evolve as new information emerges. It is possible that further statements may be issued by involved parties. It is also possible that no additional information will surface if the allegation lacks evidentiary support. Until then, the matter remains limited in scope. The role of the media in such situations is to document verified statements and developments while avoiding assumptions. Neutral reporting ensures that legal rights are respected and that audiences are not misled by unverified claims. General Shadrack Sibiya's position is clear. He denies speaking to Nxumalo about the arrest of Musa Khawula. No confirmed evidence has been presented here to contradict that denial. No official finding has been made indicating misconduct. No disciplinary or criminal conclusion has been announced. For South African adults, following developments within law enforcement and public accountability, the situation remains one of allegation and denial. The legal and ethical standards governing such matters require that conclusions be based on evidence, not inference. Should further verified information become available, it would provide greater clarity regarding the origin and substance of the allegation. Until then, the matter remains defined by a denial and the absence of confirmed proof to the contrary. In summary, General Shadrack Sibiya has denied speaking to Nxumalo about Musa Khawula's arrest. That denial is the only confirmed development outlined in the information provided. There are no additional verified details regarding investigations, disciplinary actions, or legal proceedings connected specifically to the alleged communication. As the situation stands, the public record reflects a denial and no substantiated counterclaim within the confirmed facts available.